So, Lexie Hull is obviously a huge piece for the Indiana Fever right now. And yeah, she basically broke her own re-signing news. She literally posted about returning to the Fever herself, which is kind of wild. That's a big deal. Like a genuinely big deal for this team moving forward. And as you can see, the source for all of this is actually her TikTok. I don't think I've ever seen TikTok used like this as a primary source for contract-type news. But here we are. That's where we're at now. So, Lexie Hull is currently out at the Masters with Caitlin Clark, watching what could be another historic moment. Potentially one of Ireland's greatest athletes, Rory McIlroy, going out there and winning another Masters. At one point, he was like 6 shots ahead. Crazy stuff. But the real story here isn't even the golf. It's what happened in the comment section of that TikTok. Because if you missed it, things got interesting real fast. Caitlin Clark drops a comment, joking around, tagging Sophie Cunningham like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then there's this whole vibe of no invite, cameras everywhere. It's kind of chaotic, kind of funny, but also telling. And based on everything we're seeing, it really does sound like Sophie Cunningham is coming back. Like, the chances of her returning to the Fever right now feel extremely high. And honestly, I'm completely fine with that. Especially if both Sophie and Lexie took hometown discounts to stay. Now, that's where things get interesting. Because once the contract details drop, we're going to find out exactly how much of a discount we're talking about. Apparently, Lexie Hull did take one. And I didn't even know how that fully works with restricted free agency. I thought offers had to be matched, meaning you typically go with the highest number. But maybe there's more flexibility than we think. Or maybe teams just navigate around it in creative ways. There was even a moment where people thought a comment got deleted. But nope, it was still there, and Lexie had liked it too, which only adds fuel to the fire. Again, all signs point towards Sophie Cunningham staying. Now looking at the bigger picture, bringing back both Lexie and Sophie is huge. And I'm okay with it, especially if they're willing to accept roles. That's the key thing. No ego. One can start, one can come off the bench, and both are perfectly fine with that. That kind of chemistry matters. But then you've got the elephant in the room, Kelsey Mitchell. Keeping her long-term, that's where things get really difficult. It honestly feels like losing Kelsey might be inevitable at this point. Financially and structurally, it's just tough to make it all work. And the thing is, while you might be able to find someone statistically better than Lexie Hull, you can't really replace what she specifically does. She's unique in her role. Sophie might actually be the better overall player, but her skill set is slightly easier to replicate. Ideally, you want both, and right now, it looks like the Fever might actually pull that off. Now, if you agree that this is a massive win for Indiana, make sure you're locked in, because this team is building something serious. The goal is to keep growing, keep improving, and yeah, hit that next milestone soon. But circling back to contracts, it's going to be fascinating to see what kind of money these players end up signing for. Because if players like Naz Hillman are making around that mid-tier range, then what does Lexie Hull land at? And let's be real, there's probably some behind-the-scenes stuff happening too. Not in a shady way, but in a modern athlete way. Like, Caitlin Clark has insane marketing power. You can absolutely imagine conversations like, "Hey, take a bit less money and I'll boost your brand, get you exposure, sponsorships." That kind of value is real in today's game. Again, not saying friendships are transactional, but when you're talking about hundreds of thousands in potential differences, things like brand deals and exposure absolutely come into play. And both Lexie and Sophie are smart enough to factor that in. So now, you're potentially looking at a core group coming back together. The big three, plus key role players, it's all lining up. The only question mark is still Kelsey Mitchell. And if she does leave, replacing her is not going to be easy. Maybe that's where the draft comes in. Maybe you look at someone who fits a similar mold. A downhill driver, lefty scorer, someone who can create offense. There are options, but none are perfect replacements. And overall, this is shaping up to be a really solid situation for the Fever. They're likely bringing back key pieces, possibly upgrading certain positions, even if it's not the exact upgrade fans wanted. There's also the front court depth issue. You need reliable bench players at the forward spots. You can't rely on inconsistent production there. It's just not sustainable if you're trying to contend. And yeah, not everything has been perfect. Some players haven't developed the way people hoped. That's just reality. But the overall direction of this team, it's trending up. I genuinely think the Indiana Fever are in that contender tier now. Not quite title favorites, but definitely in the mix. With additions like Natasha Howard and Monique Billings, you're getting players who fit better, who bring energy, who match what this team needs. So, yeah, run it back. This group has something. Now it's just about putting all the pieces together and seeing how far they can go.